All right, welcome back in for the last Coach's Corner edition of 2019. I'm Joe Krupinski, head men's basketball coach here at Midway. I'm joined once again, as always, by Alan Foster, head women's coach here at Midway. Coach, how are you?
Good. Glad to be here. It's hard to believe 2019 is weeks away from being over.
I know. The semester, yet again, just flew by. The whole year is flying by.
The whole year, the semester and everything.
Yeah.
Kids are gone now and school's out for the break and kind of quiet around campus.
It is. It's nice. For a change, anyway. It'll be exciting to get them back here in a couple weeks, but for now, it's probably not the worst thing.
Right.
Just take a kind of a little bit of an abbreviated show today because there's not much going on, obviously, for the next couple weeks here in the Eagle Empire. But we do want to look back at past week in Eagle athletics. We had a couple teams in action. Both men's and women's basketball played 2 conference games out at Brescia in Owensboro on Saturday, and then this past evening at home against IU Southeast to wrap up the 2019 portion of our schedules. Coach, I know you guys had a really tough loss out in Owensboro on Saturday, and then bounced back yesterday with a win. How was your week?
Well, the week was a little good, a little bad, obviously. The trip to Brescia was really tough, and thought we played well the first half, and came out the second half and got off to a good start, and then about the last half of the third quarter or fourth quarter, I don't know if they put a lid on the basket or adjusted the height, but we couldn't make a basket. I think we went back on film and missed something like 5 layups and 4 free throws in the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game, and just couldn't score. And sooner or later, you let Brescia hang around. They've got a good team, good players. Precious Holloway's been a good player for them for all 4 years, and she banged down a couple big threes that gave them the lead. And we ended up coming home with a loss. Just couldn't score at the end. It was really frustrating, and girls were really upset about it. And it was kind of shocking. And it's not that we thought they couldn't beat us, but we were playing so well for so long, and just at the end didn't finish the game. So it was a tough night for us at Brescia. So, but we came back, and again last night, Tuesday night, we played IU Southeast here at home, and they were in first place in the conference with a 2-0 record, and we bounced back, and I couldn't have been more proud of the girls. I thought we played one of our most complete games from the tip to the buzzer, all 4 quarters, and played one of our best games. Shot the ball really well. Allison Callahan had a career night, 5 for 5 from 3, 24 points, and just really got us off to a great start. And again, you always worry that last game before the break if they're going to be focused, and they were, and I was really appreciative of the effort that the young ladies gave before they headed home for their Christmas break. So we got a big win, and now we're tied for first in the conference, and pretty good way to go home. Yeah. As disappointing as Saturday was, I think we're excited to be tied for first at the break.
Yeah, for sure.
And Coach, you came out a little better in Owensboro. Central time zone was a little better for you.
We got started. We had that extra hour really made the difference for us. We had the opposite experience of you, actually. I thought played one of our better games of the year at Brescia. We came out, jumped out like 13-2, had a really good start. Again, they got one of the best players in the league, Kayode Debuku, who's a senior, was the player of the week the week prior. And did a great job on him the whole game. Held him to 4 for 12 from the field, and really were locked in early. We let them, we're not going to be confused with Loyola Marymount in the 90s, so we're not scoring a ton of points. But we guarded them, and had some rough patches. Let them back in. We were down at the half, a few points, and then down 8 or 9 early in the second, and then just kept chipping away and made some really. The nice thing was we really made some plays late down the stretch. The last 3 minutes of the game, we really executed a lot better and made our free throws, which was nice for a change. And the other nice thing about that was, Quan Evans, who's our leading scorer and a really key guy for us, got his second foul like 6 minutes into that first half. And we played the rest of the first half without him, and so that was good for the other guys, I think, to get them some success and some confidence. And survived at the end, which was a great road win. We hadn't won out there. We won out there our first year. That's the first win ever in program history.
Okay.
But we hadn't won on the campus there when they were renovating the gym. So the first time we won there, and so we were excited about that. Came home yesterday, and boy, I don't know, just didn't play well, missing some other guys, which is, again, so were they, not an excuse. But I think kind of what you were talking about, I think I don't know if it was just a tough couple of days for us, and just weren't as focused maybe as we needed to be, and really, you know, the lid. I think whatever lid was on the basket out there for you, they brought you know, they traveled on the bus back with us because we could not make a shot. Shot 5 for 24 from 3. Can't, you know, help. You know, really did a good job on that defensively.
Right.
You know, they were averaging 93 a game.
Yeah, no, they're receiving votes in the top
Receiving votes in the
25.
poll,
Good team, good program.
Good team, yeah, always been good. But just a really disappointing effort. You know, to head, kind of like what you were saying, to head to the break on that effort is not what we were looking for.
Right.
So particularly at home, you know, we thought we would play a little better at home. So, but now we have a couple weeks to kind of recharge and refresh and come back. We have 5 of the next 6 also at home. So, you know, we feel a little bit better about hopefully where we'll be.
Right.
And the only other program in action this past week was wrestling. Men's wrestling was up at the Mount St. Joe's Invitational, and
the duels, they
3
wrestled
duels.
three different schools, I believe.
Beat Ancilla College from Indiana and lost to Mount St. Joe, the host school, and Lindsey Wilson, who's 3rd in the country. So by some close scores there, it looked like to me. I know the MSJ score was pretty close.
Yeah, I saw some close scores, and so 1 and 2 in the duels. But again, Lindsey Wilson's ranked, and that's some of the best NAI wrestling around. So felt like the gentlemen, the young guys, got a taste of the top competition. I know Jake's kind of excited about some individual performances at those meets, and you know, they're off now too, and then they'll be back in action too. I think we're all coming back around January 1st or something like that. So they get a couple weeks, and then it's back at it for both men and women's basketball, wrestling, and a lot of our other sports to be picked right back up.
Yeah, we come back and baseball, softball, they'll be in the gym there right away, and it'll be. Baseball's opening in February this year, I think, which I know Dylan is very excited about.
Dylan, I think Dylan pushed for an earlier start.
He wanted, he's trying. So he got his wish, and we'll be talking more about that obviously when we get back in the coach's corner. But we are going to have a special guest today. You know, all the players and athletes for the most part have gone, and some of the coaches are on the road recruiting, and
maybe one of the most important people in our department.
I would say so. Ariel Allman, our head athletic trainer, will be joining us to talk a little bit about the operation over there in the training room. And you know,
popular place.
It is. We ought to sell admission in there. Exactly. We might be able to fund a few scholarships.
Exactly.
So we'll be back with talk with her right after this. All right, welcome back here to the Midway Coaches Corner Holiday Edition. Welcome everybody in the Eagle Empire, and we have a special guest, as we mentioned in our first segment. Today it's Ariel Allman, our head athletic trainer here at Midway. Ariel, welcome to the corner.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, you know, we're kind of winding down the semester here, and no games to preview or whatnot, so we thought it'd be a great time to, you know, shine the spotlight on some other people in our department that really are important, and kind of behind the scenes type stuff that make our department, you know, what it is, and Ariel's a key member of that. She's in her 3rd year here now as the head athletic trainer, and we have a pretty interesting setup where we, you know, Ariel's technically an employee of court, correct? His contract court physical therapy here in Kentucky, and contracted out to us. And how is that? How did you land here at Midway? And what has that process been like since you've been here?
Yes. Well, I graduated from my graduate program at UK, so that's why I'm kind of in the area. As I graduated, I was looking for jobs, and court actually posted a position, and it was basically looking for an athletic trainer at a college or university. And that was something I was looking for. I didn't want to be at a high school. I wanted to be more in a college setting. So I looked more into that. I applied, and they told me that the position would be at Midway, and I said, oh, great, because I knew all about Midway. Our GAs at UK actually used to be the prime athletic training service for Midway.
Right.
So I knew about the school. I've been here before. So I was really excited about it. I knew about the program. Before I came here, when I was in my graduate program, I actually worked at Asbury University, kind of rivals. But
we weren't going to mention that, but since you have,
I had to mention it. But yes, I was familiar with the NAI, familiar with the conference. So I think I felt like I could do it, and so I applied and was happy to be here. So yes, I am basically employed through court physical therapy, but outreach to work full time here at Midway. So I don't really have any responsibilities at the court clinic because they allow me to basically be here full time.
Right, and you know, that's a great partnership Midway has with court.
Yes.
because it gives us access not only to quality people like you, but also then their doctors and physical therapists for the rehab of our student
Correct.
athletes. So tell us a little bit about like student athletes. You're kind of the first line,
Yes.
but then if it goes farther than that, how you partner or how we partner with Court and how that works.
Correct. Yes, it's actually a really great partnership. I'm happy to be a part of Court and happy to have them close by. Basically, if anyone gets injured or if they just want to stay healthy and just want to maintain, they come to us. If we can usually do a lot of the acute stuff, kind of handle that there. We can also do more like return to sport type stuff. Obviously, because we have the facilities here, we know what they actually need to do to get back to their specific sport. But a lot of times they might need some more one-on-one attention. Obviously, it's just myself and my assistant, so with the amount of athletes we have, we can't always give them the one-on-one attention at all times. So those more serious injuries, the long-term injuries where they kind of need that one-on-one attention, that more expertise when it comes to rehab, we send them to our Court physical therapists. They take care of them, they work with us, we kind of communicate really well to make sure they know what they need to get back to, and they let us know how they're progressing. Basically, when they're done with them, they send them back to us to get them back to their sport. So it's a nice little give and go. We work together to try to make sure we get them back as quickly as possible.
Right, and I've been really impressed because for a university the size of Midway, you think sometimes you have one athletic trainer, and I know Casey's your assistant, and we have a staff of two, but what you don't really see behind the scenes is all the people at Court that are there to support us. And so our student athletes really have, top-notch care, not just on the campus, but access to the things that Court offers, which
Yes.
is, one of the largest in the state of Kentucky.
Exactly.
Yeah, one thing I would say is, and I made mention this about a year or two ago to maybe to our athletic director, Rusty Kennedy, when we were talking about how the department has grown. And I think, just from my perspective, because our first year when I got here, kind of what you were alluding to, we had a part-time person who was here like 4 hours a day,
Yes.
which is not adequate,
Yes.
as you've seen. And so I think the biggest change, we've seen a lot of great changes in the athletic department, but to me, the most important one so far has been the addition of the one and now two full-time athletic trainers. I think that's been a huge help. I tell our guys, some of them, I don't recognize them without the training room sitting around them because they're in there so much. But I talked a little bit about the staff and Casey, we had Kelsey last year. A little bit about how you guys all take the approach to work with the athletes. Like you said, we have so many athletes. There's only two of you. It's hard. But and a little bit too about the mental side of things, which I think sometimes is even more important than the actual physical.
That's
Exactly.
very, very, very true. Yes, I agree. I think our athletic training department has grown immensely, and I appreciate the administration for putting in that time and effort to make sure we can try to provide the care that we want. When I got here, I was the first full-time athletic trainer that Midway had. It was myself, and then we had a graduate assistant, and that worked. It was great, but of course, we always need more. As the school continues to grow, we try to provide more athletic trainers and more care as we can. So we went from, this past year, we went from a full-time and a graduate assistant to 2 full-times. And that has helped a lot. And it does allow us to provide better care to the teams and the athletes here. So that's been greatly appreciated. On top of that, yes, it is tough with 2 of us sometimes still, even though it's better than what we had, it's tough. But what's honestly great is the student athletes and the coaches, you guys really help and understand our situation, and that kind of helps us do our job better because they understand that when they come in, there's a lot of athletes in there, there's a lot of people that need attention, and they're patient with us, they're understanding, and I think that helps a lot. So we're able to provide the care that we want because of the understanding here at Midway. And on what you said, physically and mentally, it is hard sometimes to treat everyone. You come into this job thinking you might deal with a few ankle sprains, but instead you start dealing with, the more psychological side of things. So a lot of the training room, and you guys have probably seen it, like you said, there's a lot of people who just come in and want to talk. And sometimes a lot of our job is talking people through things, helping them through the personal stuff in their lives. Helping them figure out how best to deal with the injuries that they are dealing with. So a lot of it is a more kind of emotional and personal connection that we create with the athletes to help them through the daily things in their lives.
Right, and as Coach mentioned, I noticed, and I joke too, that sometimes your place is the most popular place on campus, it seems like, and sometimes to coaches' detriment, we feel like. But no, you all do a really great job there. And, you know, like you said, you probably start out thinking it's going to be ankle sprains, and then it gets into a lot of psychological stuff. And, you know, I've witnessed you and Casey doing a great job, and Kelsey last year. And, you know, we're not the only ones that know you do a good job, because just recently you were recognized by your alma mater, UK Health Sciences, the School of Health Sciences, as the Outstanding Young Alumni.
Yes.
So tell us, first of all, congratulations, and
Thank
tell
you
us
so
a little
much.
bit about that award and kind of what all that involves, and because it's not just athletic trainers, it's everybody in health sciences at UK.
Well, thank you guys, I appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, I had no idea at all that I was nominated, that I was getting the award, nothing. I actually just got an email that said, you were selected as, you know, the award winner. And I said, oh, not a clue, I'll respond, sure, thank you. But yes, as I looked more into it, I found out more. One of my previous professors who became the program director of our athletic training program at UK just recently basically nominated me. And I think, I don't know the details of the award, but I think what they're looking for is basically an alumni out of the College of Health Sciences that obviously is more recent, obviously it's a young alumni, so a more recent alumni who seems to be doing great things in their field and kind of representing the university well. So I was honored to be nominated by one of my professors, and then whoever the selection committee is, I guess I was awarded that honor. We had a nice little award ceremony for me, and it was nice. It was really appreciated. Like I said, I had no idea. It was completely unexpected, and I appreciated it.
Let me tell you a couple things there. One, if you're not sure of what is, oh, there goes the, if you're not sure, this is probably good for the training staff, I don't want to have too much candy. If you're not sure of what the award details, then you just make it up, which is great. So it can be about really anything you want.
I could say anything.
I can also speak from experience here on either side of the table that we aren't going to be winning young anything. Coming up. So anytime you can win an award with young in it, that's a good thing. You're on the right track. And I think we talked about it about a month, whenever the award was, about a month ago, and Coach Foster had said that I'm sure they're really good candidates, but I think we threw out the other candidates.
But it was well deserved.
Right,
The selection committee did a great job
by the committee.
Yeah, great job.
Yes, thank you.
You know, a couple other, we did have some text questions when the people found out you were going to be on.
Yes.
And one of the questions we had was from Dylan in Bardstown, and he'd like to know what is the injury that you see the most in the training, like through the course of the season with all the different sports. You know, we have esports coming in now, so carpal tunnel could be. But until we get them, what's the injury you've seen the most?
Well, that's a very good question. One thing I have noticed over my years of athletic training, short years, but over my few short years, is things come in waves. So one year I can have a lot of just one specific injury. Next year I'll never see it, and then I'll have a whole nother joint that is just the problem of the year. However, I would say ankle sprains are probably the most common. I think a lot of times people don't put in as much attention around the muscles around their ankle, meaning people get in the gym all the time and work out on their own, things like that. So they strengthen their hips and their thighs and their arms and things like that, but I feel like maybe that's forgotten in a lot of young student athletes. Maybe they don't pay attention to that type of stuff in the weight room. So I don't know if that's the reason why, I'm not exactly sure, but I would say a lot of ankle sprains from mild to more severe.
When did, this is a pet peeve of mine, when did humans start having high ankles? Because I can't remember a high ankle sprain until like about 10 years ago. Now everybody has high ankle sprains.
It's a nice fancy term.
So we've always had them.
We've always had them. I think it's just becoming a little more prevalent.
Okay.
It is a slightly different part of the ankle.
Yeah.
So it's different ligaments. Usually it's harder to heal because of where the ligament is located. So it's always been there. We're just talking about it more. That's all. You know, it's on TV. You know, the football players.
That's what I said. Good.
That's all it is.
We also have another question sent in. Do you see a difference in men and women, male-female injuries, of which one's more prevalent or which one's more severe in treating?
I would say, honestly, there's a lot of research out there too, but I think the way women are built, for some reason, and hormones, who knows, they tend to there's certain injuries that they get a lot more than males. So ACLs, those are a lot more common in women. A lot of like knee, hip, pelvis area It's a lot more common in women for some reason. I think they're still honestly trying to figure that out in the world. But a lot of it, I think, is just how their hips are built. The angles of our hips
Q
are a
angle.
little different.
Q
The
angle.
Q angle. Yes, look at you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, it is the Q angle.
We're not just pretty faces over here, Coach.
No.
We
Joe,
we
Our
pay
coaches
attention.
here.
Joe is up for the old.
That's right, the old. I'm throwing my hat in the ring for the old.
The old alumni.
That's right.
Oh gosh, that's good. That's good.
Well, I think our last question also comes from Dylan in Bardstown, and he was looking for some advice to how to stay, whether athlete or not, how to stay healthy here over the holidays. It's the calorie season. What are some things, hopefully all of our athletes are watching this,
Yes.
and over the break, and most of us are they're gone for a couple weeks now.
Yes.
What are some things that they can do to maintain their conditioning so they come back and they don't get injured?
Yes. One, I think the biggest thing is don't do nothing. That's just really simple. Don't do nothing.
Good advice on the court and off.
That's very important because I think what happens is we tend to think of this as a break. Like, oh, we just have a break from basketball or a break from wrestling or whatever it might be. And they just take advantage and sleep and rest and
Get
eat.
started on me. The players can't have it, my mind.
They can't, they shouldn't, really. And that's the biggest thing is don't take this break and never, touch a basketball or get on the mat or work on your form or anything like that. Because I think that you take 2 weeks off of doing nothing, you come back, you can get deconditioned very, very easily. And I don't think athletes realize that. And then I always say, what I mean by don't do nothing is you can take a break maybe from your sport per se, like if you're a basketball athlete, I don't think you need to be playing, a full game of basketball every single day of the break. That might be too much.
Right.
I think you should take advantage of not putting your body, there's a lot of overuse injuries right now, not putting your body through the
Load
same
management,
thing
if you will.
right, over and over
Load
again.
management.
This is your time to maybe not play basketball as much. But that doesn't take away from maybe some cross training, getting in the gym and doing some lifting, some cardio, just working on your form, like shooting. You can get in the gym and shoot. Those types of things I think are very important, and I don't know.
So there you go, athletes.
Yep.
So let's not do nothing.
That's right.
Let's make sure we're doing something, but it is a good time. Now, unfortunately for some of us, the advice would be to do something
Exactly.
because we've not done anything before the holidays.
Right.
And so some of us non-athletes, the advice might be to start a program.
Start something.
Start something. Okay,
I
so
always
we've
say
got.
cardio is just the easiest thing to try to get into. Like, we don't need to work, get a gym membership and do all this extra stuff. Just like a nice walk even to start with, a little jog here and then after you eat your Christmas meal, maybe kind of walk it off, jog it off.
There you go.
Bike, elliptical, whatever you have. Just a little something to get your heart rate up. It's always good.
Excellent. Well, that's about all the time we have here in the corner for Ariel, but we really appreciate her coming on and talking to us about the athletic training program here at Midway. And what are your holiday plans?
Well, I'm from Florida, so I am just
Wait to see the snow.
Yeah.
I'm delighted to get away and not see any possible snow coming up and be in Florida with my family. So I'll be there for a little while, spending some time.
Well, that's great. Ariel, again, thank you for everything you do, and we do wish you a happy holiday with your
Thank you
family
so
in
much.
Florida. And we'll be back at it in 2020. I'm sure somebody will be hurt the first day.
That's right. Viewer questions up next from the Eagle Empire.
Thank you, guys.
All right, it is.
FaceTime with Dylan.
I mean, there's been some talk about we should rename the segment FaceTime with Dylan. We haven't, mostly to try to get a sponsorship with Apple, but we still, it still remains viewer questions here on the Coach's Corner with your two-time RSC SID of the year, Dylan Brown. Dylan, happy holidays. Welcome into the corner.
Happy holidays to you guys as well. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here.
Always enjoy this segment. Always enjoy the show.
I can't wait for the questions this week, mostly because we've already had a couple of good questions. Dylan in Bardstown asked a couple when Ariel was on. So I'm sure the rest of the questions are just stellar.
Dylan and Barstown. You never know where they come from.
We're always interested to get these questions. Again, folks, please remember to text in your questions to the text line. It is 859-846-5327.
5327. Someone runs that.
They'll monitor that text line day and night. Dan, we have got some questions tonight.
Yeah.
And, or 24 hours a day, you can find us on the interwebs at Twitter, at Go Midway Eagles,
Yep.
with the hashtag Coach's Corner. And the person who in charge of calling those questions and running that account will, if they're not in a Twitter beef with some brand at the time, I'm sure we'll come up with questions for our next, our first viewer question segment of 2020.
Yes, we need your questions for 2020.
That's it.
They remain pretty level-headed, I hear.
What do we got this week? Did you come up with an anonymous question that you want to ask?
No, I still haven't figured out who that anonymous person is.
So 2020 anonymous.
Is that your New Year's resolution?
That is my New Year's resolution.
Find out who the anonymous texter is?
I'm going to find out who that is.
I wish you the best. I wish you the best. What's the question?
First, we had a couple questions from Barstown. Now we're going all the way out west. Eleanor from Idaho, she's back again.
Eleanor's the...
She's quickly right.
I was going to say the man, but she's the woman. She must be the woman, because she's asking some good questions.
She says she would love to know what are the coach's favorite holiday traditions. Who wants to tackle that one first?
Well, the Christmas holiday is always a busy time, and so my least favorite tradition is shopping. And
Amen.
you know,
Wait, it's Christmas next week?
however, one of my favorite traditions that my family just refuses to participate in is I do like to go to one of the big stores, say a Super Walmart, on Christmas Eve about an hour before they close and just people watch. It is the most entertaining, so it's probably my favorite Christmas tradition is going out and doing some Christmas shopping, or my only Christmas shopping, on Christmas Eve about an hour before the stores close. Seems like the pressure of having to get something and not having to worry about if it fits, they can take it back and all those things. But also the people watching, is people are trying for that last minute thing, has become a tradition of mine that my family refuses to participate in, so I have to do that one solo. But I think, seriously, spending time with the family, and as much as I love our teams and stuff, it's good to get away from them for a while and spend some time with your family, obviously, and you know, look forward to kind of coming back, but also this downtime away from the hustle and bustle of the basketball season, and get more involved in the hustle and bustle of the Christmas season and what it's all about.
Coach?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad we had Ariel on this week, because that Walmart trip sounds like a contact sport to me. People's elbows are probably flying at some of those discount bits. So you better, it's good, you know, we'll put some ice on those injuries.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I'm glad this question came in. I'd like to thank Eleanor, because it reminds me I have to start my Christmas shopping, which traditionally takes place around the time Alan's at Walmart.
Joe's one of those people I've seen.
I'm one of the people, yeah, so that's why I know of what I speak. No, I think, I don't have any specific traditions other than, you know, my immediate family is all in the Northeast still, so I go and see them, which is nice. Try to get up there once or twice a year to see them, so that usually the holidays is one of those times. You know, traditionally with one of the nice things about our level, like Coach said, is there is a bit of a break. I mean, our Division I, sometimes two friends, they you know, they work through the holidays a lot. I know when I was at that level, we used to be, you know, we had a couple of days off, and then you're back at it. So
Yeah.
I think, you know, I kind of like this about it. We have a really competitive level of athletics, but we're also, you know, you have some time to do some of this stuff. You know, recruiting is always a little bit in the background there during the holidays. You get out and try to get a head start on the next year. But mostly it's just, again, seeing your family, and for me, who I don't see very often, and just enjoying the general spirit of the holidays, which is pretty cool.
Gotta have a chance to recharge the batteries.
Yes.
Well, gotta have that.
Yeah, well, after this semester, we might need another backup generator or something.
Backup generator?
Yeah.
Dylan, what about you? What's your Christmas?
We really don't have anything. I mean, it's really like the coach has said, it's just about just trying to get a chance to rest and recharge the batteries and get ready for the second semester. You guys touched on it, basketball start back up, and then we got baseball and softball, and then it's like, what in the world's going on here? We're playing baseball and golf and out in the snow. What are we doing? It's all about just.
Well, that's why you coach indoor sports, though.
That is.
I don't know anything about that. I will say
Indoor
with the calendar this year, I'm going to miss one of my. You know, now that I think about it, I do have a holiday tradition. Every time I go north, we go and play trivia at Parker Pie in West Glover, Vermont. Which is the best pizza you'll have in America. And
Okay.
if you can find,
Shout out to Parker Pie.
if you can find West Glover, Vermont, you're gonna be glad you did. But and this year it's on Wednesday, and Wednesday is Christmas. So I'm not gonna be able, we're not gonna be able to go up this year.
No
So,
trivia.
No trivia.
so the other teams up there, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
We'll see in the summer.
Trivia master.
All right, what's question
What
two?
is it?
We got a question from the live studio.
live
audience.
audience.
Live studio audience. Here we go.
Hello, this is Ariel from Florida.
What is that?
Sounds familiar.
Sounds very familiar.
This is my first time here, I don't know. But thank you for having me. Basically, what I want to know is you guys have this nice break in your season. I don't know, like I said, good or bad, maybe a little bit of both. But you obviously have the chance to recharge and refocus. What are you guys going to maybe focus or change up for the second half of your season in 2020?
Coach, you guys are doing well. You don't need to change it.
Well, we are off to a good start, and so we went to the break at 10-2, and we want to come back and be ready to play right away. I think we're coming back on the 2nd, and first game's on the 7th, so we've got 5 days to get ready, and that's a non-conference game. Then we'll open up with conference after that. But I think we want to continue to improve. I think one of the things I've tried to stress to the young ladies is that while we're 10-2, we're still not good enough. So I think one of the things that we're really going to focus on when we come back is we still have to get better every week, every game, every day, working to improve and get better, because the conference season is a grind, and it's also going to be a battle night in and night out. So I think it's going to be great to recharge and refresh a little bit, but we've got to come back and focus on getting better every day.
Well, we've had an uneven first semester for sure. I mean, I do think, heading into the season, we were really excited about where we were, and as usual for everybody, it's not just us, but for most teams, things, the best laid plans, they say. You start in one direction, you gotta zig when you zag, and we've had a lot of guys out of the lineup, which is again not an excuse, but it's just the reality. We need to, figure out who's going to be back and who we can count on, and how, and if that's going to change how we play.
Right.
We've played one way for this guy. We missed a few guys here on yesterday, but we didn't really know we were going to miss them until a couple days before. So you can't just throw everything you do out the window for 2 days. So now we do have 2 weeks where we can think about exactly what's worked, what hasn't worked, and what we've got to do to be the best version of us. For 2 months and hopefully into the tournament.
Okay. All right. Next question is from Reed in Oklahoma.
All right. New texter.
New texture.
Reed in
Texture, Reed in Oklahoma.
I say.
That Dust Bowl crap.
Dust Bowl.
The Dust Bowl.
How much sports will you be watching over the break? You got bowl games. You got some college. This is kind of where college basketball starts to take off a little bit more. What about you guys?
Coach?
Well, yeah, during the season with games 2 or 3 nights a week and practices and going out and trying to watch some high school games and recruiting, don't really watch a lot of sports on TV, maybe Sunday afternoon football. So, I'll spend some time on the couch watching games, and we'll watch some college basketball. We'll try to keep up with the bowl games some. There are so many of them, it's just hard to keep up with them all. Seem like they'll be on 2 or 3 a day. But so I'll kind of peruse that as well. But, spending time with the family and things like that will always, take priority. But I'll get my share of TV time watching sports, I'm sure.
I don't know, honestly. It's funny. One of the things I found myself doing less and less as the more you coach, the longer you coach, is watching less and less sports, quite honestly, when you're away. Your whole day is sports. Maybe not in a fun way, but it is.
Right.
And then you get home, and sometimes the last thing you want to do is watch more basketball. Not that we don't like watching basketball, but but I'm sure it'll be on the TV at some point at home with some of the football. I am unlike Coach. I don't follow the bowl games at all. I could care less. Basketball, the same thing. If people I know their teams are on TV, sometimes I try to catch them or try to get out to see them, because some teams that are playing over the break, try to catch some of those games in person. But TV-wise, and of course, as always, we're still racing at Turfway Park, Dylan.
Still racing.
And Gulfstream, and so there's the TVG might end up on the set once or twice over the break as well.
But that's research. That's research for corner.
Research for corner handicapping. That's why I can write off my cable bill, because I need that for the corner. So, it's really more like Coach said about being with others. I think now more than ever, as a society, we need to be present with others when we're there, instead of everybody's got their facing the screen. You know, you take I know Coach, I'm sure it's the same way. You took our teams to Chili's there in Paragould. So who wouldn't want to be at Chili's in Paragould? So when you do, you know, and there's, we all ate together, so there's 50 people at the place, and 47 of them are texting somebody.
Exactly.
Sometimes I think they were texting the person down the
Probably were.
So, you know, I think this is a great time to just talk to human beings.
Talk to human
I
beings.
sound like I sound like the old guy here, but I do think
No, it's a good point.
it's a good time for that.
Yep. That's all the questions we got.
That's all we got?
That's all we got.
Well, we'll get them in for
That's all we got.
2020. You know, the text line again, 859-846-5327. Hashtag Coach's Corner at Go Midway Eagles.
Yep.
We're not gonna have a last segment because there's nothing to really preview these next couple weeks where we're all taking a break. I guess the one thing we would say is, because we probably won't have a show before we both play again.
Right.
Our first game after the break is January 6th here at home against Berea. College, a really good program. There's a 3 program from here in state. And Coach, you play the next
Our first
day, right?
game is January the 7th against Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee. So we'll be on the road to Nashville when we come back.
So all the Tennessee area viewers catch Coach at Fisk, and then we start the league play on the 9th against Point Park, and then it'll really be fast and furious there after that. So,
Want to take a second to thank all the viewers that we've had in 2019. This has been an endeavor that Coach and I have talked about, and we decided to take it on, and we've really enjoyed it. We've enjoyed questions and comments from our viewers and people that have texted in and our live audience, and so we're looking forward to continuing this in 2020. But it's been a lot of fun in 2019 so far, and we want to wish you a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and we'll definitely be excited to see you back in the new year.
that's right. And also special thanks and happy holidays to Dylan for all the grief we put him through on this, and it's not his job.
It's all in good fun.
It's not
It's
his
all
job
in good
description, and he
all
sets up
in
the
good
camera every week anyway. So appreciate that. Happy holidays to everybody, and we look forward to having a great 2020 in the Eagle Empire. We'll see you then.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.